Welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I am THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, what are the pros and cons of R.J. Davis staying at UNC for his COVID year or moving on to the professional ranks? That's the topic today, and I'm going to dive into it. Going to hit some bullet points here, and you could have be a part of a fantastic discussion about this topic on our message boards. If you are a premium subscriber, just $8.33 a month for a one-year sub, and you can have access to a ton of intel about the portal, the going, the coming, where Carolina is looking in the portal, all that kind of stuff. We are dumping a lot of info on the boards as I talk right now. David Sisk is exceptionally well connected. Between the two of us, we got a lot of information that we're putting there, so you can only access it if you are a premium subscriber to TarHeelIllustrated.com. Now, the pros and cons. The pros for RJ coming back. He could further secure his place in UNC lore, and that's significant. It's important to him. He understands the history of the program, and he already knows his jersey's going to be in the rafters, but what if he thinks about the possibility of his jersey being retired? That would be National Player of the Year stuff. Does he want another ACC Player of the Year? Does he want to become the all-time leading scorer at Carolina? Think about it. He's 784 points away from becoming the all-time leading scorer at Carolina. This season, he scored 784 points. So, if that's important to RJ, even with the asterisk, and I've told you guys, I think the NCAA is going to a fifth year of eligibility sooner rather than later. So the asterisk may eventually be removed, even for Armando with his scoring, because he's second all time. And it makes sense as I sidebar for a moment, because I keep bringing up Phil Ford. Phil Ford's freshman year was when freshmen were finally eligible to play in college basketball. And he was the all-time leading scorer until Tyler Hansbrough broke the record, and Phil had 4 years to do it. Charlie Scott didn't have 4 years. Billy Cunningham didn't have 4 years. Phil Ford did, and eventually Tyler Hansbrough in 4 years broke his mark. Armando became the all-time leading rebounder in his fourth year. He's set the bar so high in year 5, I don't think anybody will ever pass him. And he's number 2 all-time in scoring now with that 5th year. And he always noted, hey, I got the extra year. Maybe RJ would too, but maybe it's something that RJ would like to also have on his Carolina resume. The other thing is maybe he wants to win a national championship, get to another Final Four, win a national championship, cut down the nets in the ACC tournament. Carolina hasn't done that since 2016. So there are lots of boxes in his Carolina career for RJ to check. He could secure himself as one of a healthy contingent of all-time greats by having another great year. Right now, he's a guy who had a fantastic career, but one great year. Does he want to double up on it? Also, NIL money. He's going to make a lot of money if he comes back. He's already making a lot of money. If he comes back after everything he's accomplished and the excitement it would generate in a program for him being around another year, he could make a lot of money, more money than he would make at the next level, for sure. Maybe a lot more money than he would make at the next level, especially the Deja Kelly factor. They are in a relationship, and if she decides to use her 5th year, which a lot of people think she will, she's making a lot of money in NIL also. So maybe they team up together for one more year, and together they can make a ton of money. So the money's probably better if he comes back. But that's just money. It depends on what RJ truly wants. The cons of him coming back, he's not getting any younger. NBA people will look at him and say, hey, you're kind of at a point now where the older you get before you get to the league, the less interested we are. Maybe he's maxed out in college. Maybe there's that step back he has. He burns everybody with it in college. Maybe it's time he shows that he can burn 27-year-olds in the G League or an NBA combine, NBA camp with it. Maybe he needs to show that he can play the whole game. He's got to be able to defend. He can handle the physical beating of being screened. in playing NBA guys. Can he be a point guard? Is there any room in the NBA for a 6-foot shooting guard on certain teams? I know the NBA has become a little bit positionless, but I'm sure there aren't many coaches out there that say, hey, give me a 6'2" guard and I'm good to go. You have to build around that. So there are some cons in him coming back and not getting to the league and showing what he could do right now. And then to understand where his career needs to go, because if it's not in the NBA, certainly he could make a lot of money overseas playing for a long time. His game certainly would fit over there. And the other thing is, if he goes now, he's 1 year closer to a second contract if he makes it. And the generational wealth built in the NBA isn't your first contract. It's the second contract. So if you look at the NIL money he makes this year, he would make over the next year, that's like really good 1 year contract money. But then he has to go in, and if he makes it in the league, he's got to build toward the second one. And he'd be a year older going into the league. So let's look at it this way. If he's 20, he turns 23 next September. So if he's 24 as a rookie in the NBA, he doesn't get to a second contract until he's 29, maybe 28, 29, depending on where he's drafted and what he signs initially. How many teams are going to give a lengthy or a healthy contract to a 28, 29-year-old 6-footer unless he's lights out? So there are a lot of things that he has to consider. And I do think that there are good reasons for him to come back, and there are good reasons for him to go. I don't think he can make a bad decision there. And that's a wonderful spot for him to be in. And kudos to him for putting himself in that position, because if he does return to school, there are so many reasons to understand why. And for people to say, boy, you made a great decision. Because let's say he doesn't make it in the NBA. He could make enough money. He's already made a lot of money. He could make enough money that if he's smart with it, that's a great start to your professional life, whatever it is he does. He could go overseas and make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. He's already got a huge financial backing for what he's made at Carolina. That's a great way to launch into your post-college adulthood. So he's set up pretty well. So I think if he comes back, we'll know why. And it'll be financial, but there'll be other reasons too. I think he'll tell us. I don't want to speak for him, but I would imagine some of the things he can achieve in terms of Carolina lore would be very appealing to him. But I also believe going and proving. He's a prover. He's always been the little guy. He was the guy wearing the goggles in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. He's been the little guy, the little engine that can, and constantly proving people. And he is such a competitor. I can see him saying, you know what? I've done what I can here. I want to go prove that I can do it the next level. And I wouldn't bet against him. Nobody works harder. I wouldn't bet against him. So we'll see. We'll see what RJ does, and he'll tell us. He'll explain the decision, and I'll applaud him either way, because I don't think he can make a bad decision here. And that's a great spot to be in. And he deserves credit for putting himself in that position. What do you think RJ's going to do? And will you be happy for him either way? If you think he's going to return, go ahead and click like on this video. If you think he's going to go ahead and click like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you get updates every time we upload. And just because the games have stopped doesn't mean that we stop. We are grinding every day. We are going to crush it between now and the start of football season next year. We don't stop. We never stop. 365 days out of the year. I guess this year, 366. We don't stop. We will constantly, regularly be bringing you all kinds of Carolina football, basketball, and recruiting information every day right here at TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm AJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.